HarperCollins and HarperAudio present Zeal, a novel by Morgan Jerkins, performed by January LaVoy and Shayna Small. To James Tate, his dear wife, and the Berry family. To the enslaved, who loved when separation or death threatened their bonds. And to the descendants, who continue that legacy of courage and passion. Prologue. October 2019. A harvest moon glowed above the Manhattan skyline and Brooklyn Bridge on the evening of Oliver Benjamin and Ardelia Gibbs's engagement party. String lights stretched across the rooftop of a midtown restaurant, and heat lamps dotted its perimeter. Framed black and white photos of the couple served as centerpieces on a dozen tables covered with white linen tablecloths, and violets and roses arched over a dessert table complete with macarons, mini strawberry cheesecakes, and a 5-tier cupcake stand. Neo-soul music of the mid-90s and early aughts, punctuated by Sade and Anita Baker, streamed through speakers positioned in each of the four corners. But the exquisitely planned, perfectly executed party would have been nothing without the people. Just 4 days prior, the festivities had been in jeopardy. Mighty storms swirling in the Midwest had left Oliver's relatives in Kansas and Ardelia's Chicago clan wondering if they might have to send their best wishes instead of risking the journey. Miraculously, the storms abated and everyone important had arrived. Even Ardelia's father, Sterling, her only living parent, though that wasn't saying much, beamed with pride as he, his mother Geraldine, and sister Hazel watched the couple kiss and hold hands when they thought no one was watching. The lovers had met at Corner Social 2 winters ago, one night when Ardelia had needed a quick reprieve from her job at the Schomburg, and Oliver had relented to pressure from his friends to go out for once. As they each sipped their elaborate cocktails, their work pulled at them. But when Oliver leaned against the bar, his hands pressed against the countertop, Ardelia found herself making a joke about how his drink order matched his outfit. Old-fashioned. And after that, Oliver discovered that he couldn't quite manage to move from his spot. So they had stayed, talking till closing, and had been together ever since. The first few months weren't without strain, though. Her schedule was more regular than his. Often she'd have to squeeze into a small pocket of time with him at Starbucks or a nearby noodle shop before he had to make a mad dash back to New York Presbyterian. He texted heartfelt emojis, left small, sweet notes for her to find in her purse or on her nightstand. But after a while, these gestures became less effective. He knew he needed to show his commitment. He wanted to. So, he asked her to move in with him. Their relationship was young, but they were full-grown in their mid-30s, confidently fleshed out in who they were and able to take risks with both eyes open. Now, as the party was drawing to its natural conclusion, guests were beginning to place their napkins on their tables and rise to their feet. But Oliver suddenly clinked a glass with his fork to get everyone's attention. Ardelia watched, confused. The party had gone according to plan. The seating, the eating, the speech-giving, the dancing. Nevertheless, Oliver looked anxious. His cuff buttons were unhooked, and his sleeves were rolled up to right underneath his elbows. He wiped his sweaty brow and took a few deep breaths. "Don't leave," he asked the guests again. "I have something that I want to give to Ardelia." Guests who'd been beginning to bow out, as well as those who were standing and mingling, returned to their seats. He grinned with the closed mouth at his beloved, and she beamed back at him. Then Oliver's parents walked up to where he was standing. His dad, Marshall, was carrying a wide package about the width of his torso. Oliver grabbed a remote and pressed a few buttons, and the music from the speakers abruptly stopped. "Ardelia, can you come up here, please?" Ardelia, who'd been nibbling on a cheeseburger,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?